All right, everybody, welcome back to OffBeat Sports Podcast presented by Cross.
And I'm Harry.
And we're back to talk post-draft thoughts on the Patriots 2022 draft picks. I know we said 50 was supposed to be on this one. He was unable to do it due to unforeseen circumstances. So me and Harry are just going to rock this. We'll get it going.
So we do best.
Our thoughts on each pick. And yeah, so I mean, let's start with the first round pick, Cole Strange,
Yes.
Chattanooga.
So
everyone, this was a surprise for everyone.
Yeah.
If you saw our reaction on the Instagram live, you know this was a very, very big surprise. But
before we talk about the actual pick itself, me and Cross were like ready for like 6 minutes, just like going straight. Like, here we go, we're ready. And
this was at the 21st.
Traded down.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And we were like, "Yep, that's a classic Patriots move right there."
We're like, then I tried to keep the Instagram live going for an hour, and then I was like, "Screw this, let's just restart it." So we restarted for the second one. Me, you, and Ian were getting all hyped, ready for them to draft Nakobe.
You're going. Who do you think it's going to be? I'm like, honestly, I think it's a New England move to take Mechie right now. And you're like, nah, bro, it's Nakobe Dean. Ian's like, yeah, it's got to be Nakobe Dean. And just all of a sudden, well, then
Nakobe Dean falls to the third round. Was it third? Yeah, the third round.
That was third.
Well, I thought they traded up. The same thing happened to me with like the 50th pick when they took the wide receiver. They traded up, and I'm like, no way, they're trading up for Nakobe Dean. I got so hyped, and then they took the receiver, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
All right, but let's talk about this pick. Cole Strange, offensive guard out of Chattanooga. Clearly a guy they like. People have thrown those Senior Bowl Senior Bowl videos down. Those are just part of what you can see, because apparently after I read about it, he had a great Senior Bowl. So it's kind of hard like to just judge it based off a few like videos, but I mean, I like the player. Don't get me wrong. I think he's going to end up being a starter and a very good offensive lineman for us.
Yes.
I was just surprised at the value, because I felt that's a guy you could have gotten in the second round, maybe the third round, but probably a second round guy. And when there was first round talent on the board, I do like the trade down though, because you get 2 extra picks in that deal.
I think that we'll get to it, but I think what we did with those 2 extra picks was magnificent.
Yeah, and so I grade this pick just probably a C plus B minus, just because I think it's going to be a good player for us. I just don't know. I question the value, because if he ends up being a phenomenal lineman for us, then technically it's worth the first round pick. I just felt like you could have gotten him in the second round and gotten another first round quality player on top of that. But I think he's going to be good. So that's why I'm in the C plus B minus range.
So if I were to do anything honestly here, at first, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I hated the pick at first. I really did. It's grown on me like a lot. Cause like
knew who he was, and now people are doing the research.
Yeah. And now that we like actually know who he is, and like, damn, wow, he's actually like a really solid, like big guy at the guard spot. Like, I mean, I do agree with what you're saying. Like, we definitely could have got him later, but like, if we didn't, like maybe you never know. Maybe, like they see things that we don't. Maybe there were other eyes on him that were like ready to take him, start a second. So, I at first I was like C minus range. I'm sitting at a solid B right now, B flat, because I grade the player. You know what I mean? Like I very much so rate the player himself. Like Doctor Strange, I feel like he's actually going to be like a very, very solid guy to be able to help us with Mac's trouble, you know, staying safe in the pocket, because that was one of his largest problems the whole year. So I'm honestly excited to see what he does.
My one problem with this pick is they're filling a hole they created by trading Shaq Mason for only a 5th round pick. So technically, you didn't even get back the value of Shaq Mason, because if he ends up being just as good as Shaq Mason, you technically spent a 5th and a 1st round pick to replace him. So it's kind of like, it's a surprise for me. I just felt like this is a hole they had to fill because they screwed up a trade with Shaq Mason. But again, I'm excited about the player. So I think we're ready to move on. Second round pick, wide receiver Tyquan Thornton out of Baylor. At first, yeah, obviously I was upset that they didn't draft Nakobe Dean, because if you watched our pre-draft episode, that was the guy I wanted in the first round, and I felt like we needed to go linebacker and we didn't. But after doing some research, I like this kid. I mean, his frame hasn't done extremely well in the NFL, but we got to get some speed, and there's your speed. Dude ran a 4.228, I think.
I think it was 2.9.
No, I think it was 2.8 because Tyreek ran a 2.9. And
you're right. Yeah.
So everyone's question is his size, but apparently he has some pretty good hands. He's great athletically, and he stretches the field. And I mean, I'm fine if I don't think he's gonna have a huge role this year. But unless they get rid of Aguilar and N'Keal Harry. But even if they just get rid of N'Keal Harry, I don't think he'll have a huge role. But I think next year he'll end up having a solid role with this team. So I'm excited to see what he can bring if he can. And I think if he puts some muscle on, I think he may be a really high upside prospect.
So what are you grading it?
At the value, probably a B minus. I would give it a B minus. Yeah, I would go B minus.
So I rate this pick. Now of all, this is my only A. This is my only A grade in the entire draft. I think this is a solid, I'm going A minus, potentially A, but right now I'm sticking A minus. But this guy, the speed is such a turn on for what we need. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's
everyone said get faster. We meant
yes,
defense, but
but we got faster, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But more than anything, literally more than anything, I think this is the one guy that we drafted this draft, and I know it kind of contradictory to what you're saying. I think he's gonna be our first year stud. I genuinely think
he's gonna be able to carve out a role with Myers, Bourne.
I do. Realistically speaking, I do.
I'm trying to think of the other guy. We had another receiver.
Harry.
Yeah, Harry. It was another guy.
Myers, Bourne,
Harry. Continue with your thought.
But so
Devontae Parker, the guy they traded for.
Oh yeah, Devontae Parker. So realistically, what we're going to be looking at is our wide receiver 1, 2, and slot is going to be Parker, Myers, Kendrick Bourne. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that's just clear eyes, blue skies. You know what I mean? But on those trips and that one slot, I don't think Aguilar is going to do much for us. I really don't. I think he's coming on the back end of his career.
I think Aguilar either is going to get cut or traded, but
yeah, and Harry, we all know Harry is just. Mm-hmm. We don't talk about him here on Offbeat Sports. He's the New England's Ben Simmons.
We talk about our Harry.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. Anyways, no, I genuinely think this is going to be a fantastic pick for us, because now it just gives us so much more options. You know what I mean? Yeah. And our wide receiver field looked good. And I'm actually I know we need a good defense, but I'm actually not upset at all that we went heavy offense this year, because we got three linemen.
This was such a heavy defensive draft that I felt like with your defense sucking so bad that you this may be more beneficial. But I'm fine with the players we got. That's the thing.
Yeah. But to wrap it up, I definitely think that this is going to be a guy to look out for. If anything, he's going to be one of the top 2 guys to look out for. And the number 2 is not Dr. Strange. Mm-hmm. He's not Cole Strange. We will get to that, but he's not Cole Strange.
Yeah. All right. So our third round pick, Marcus Jones out of Houston, cornerback. I'm actually a big fan of this pick. I have this as a B plus, A minus pick for me. I think this is great value. He's a good corner, but he's also very versatile. he can be a return man on both punt and kickoff, which we lost in Gunner this year.
Yeah.
But he also could be a great slot cornerback for us. So that I think he might be able to step in and play multiple roles for this team. So I'm more on the B plus A minus side of this.
So I'm gonna agree with you. I say B plus. He wasn't a stellar guy, but like last season in college, he had 9 picks and 9 return touchdowns. Like 9 return touchdowns. I'm excited. I am. I think he's gonna fit like a similar role. Yeah, I think he's gonna fit a similar role that like Gunner did, and nobody thought Gunner was gonna be like, oh, Gunner Opchevsky, you know. But Gunner was a dog, and I'm not saying they're the same player or nothing close to it. You know what I mean?
I think Marcus Jones can actually play his position.
Yes, I agree. So Marcus, I think Marcus Jones has got like good size, good versatility. He's very athletic. I think he'd be a good corner. Do I think he's gonna be like starting first year? No, I do not.
Yeah, I don't think he'll start this year.
I do think he's going to be our return guy.
Yeah, he'll be a return guy, I bet.
And I am excited to see what he can bring to the field.
That leads into our next cornerback, Jack Jones at Arizona State. There isn't a lot like right away, but I think he has a lot of potential, and I think that like to grow. He's had some off the field issues, but I think New England, that set system may be good for him. But he has the athleticism, he has the speed. I think this is an exciting pick that that was kind of a steal for a 4th round guy.
I agree.
Because I feel like his potential is like through the roof. So I'm gonna go B on this pick. Yeah, I'm gonna go B. Or so in the B minus B range, just because I think there's great potential, but also there's also I think there's some potential of a bust.
Yeah. So I'm saying C plus on this one. Now I do see a lot of potential on him, but the only problem is we know how the Patriots are when it comes to dealing with on the field, off the field issues. On the field, great. We can work around it. Off the field issues has always been a struggle. I think it's going to take him good time to develop, like into like in an NFL like style. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, but we don't have a lot of outside corners.
We don't, and so
I would like him out there more than Jojon Williams. That's why I think he might get some playing time to start.
Like I said, I like the pick. I'm not 100% in on the player.
I think preseason's huge for this kid.
Yes.
That's going to set the like standard for what he's going to do like during the year.
I think he's very undershadowed very overshadowed by literally the pick right before him. But I do think he has potential. I'm having trouble seeing it right now. I don't see it as much as you, so that's why I'm sitting at a C plus for him.
I just want to make the point that now we have in our cornerback room, we have Jonathan Jones, Marcus Jones, Jack Jones, and then we
love Joneses.
At quarterback, we got Mac Jones, and then the running back room, we have Kevin Harris and Damian Harris. So there's something going on in that.
I didn't like the same guys.
Yeah. Next 4th round pick. I love this pick. Running back.
This is my other one.
Running back Pierre Strong, South Dakota State. Again, we want speed. Here you go. Dude ran the fastest running back 40-yard dash. Dude, he's a 3-down back. I think he's gonna be good for us, especially I think that one running back I think was a sign that we're not bringing back Damian Harris next year. Yeah. But I think drafting another running back was kind of like the big like boom, like all right. Now we know what they're doing.
Now here's why I'm really excited for this guy, right? We know how the Patriots use their running backs. We haven't had like an aggressive runner since LeGarrette Blount. And every running back we've had since that has always like been like, okay, just we need speed and we need like good ball handling, somebody that can like, you know, run sweeps and catch outlet passes. You know what I mean? I think this guy has so much potential to be the next James White, if not better. only because one, he's a lot faster. He's very elusive. He's strong. If they can work his hands into the game, and instead of just like relying on a 3-down run guy and use him as like a halfback who can if we can develop him into like a Christian, yeah, thank you. It was dodging me for so long. If we can develop into like a Christian McCaffrey type role, I'm not comparing him to Christian McCaffrey at all. Don't get me wrong, but I think he could be fantastic if we work him in the passing game.
Yeah, I like this kid.
I'm giving him an A. An A minus.
A minus. I'm going B plus, just because I don't think he'll have a huge role this year. Especially with Steve. We still got Stevenson.
Ramondre, but that's like what I mean. Ramondre is the power back, you know.
I think they're confident in Stevenson in the future, that they're willing to let Harris walk, bring in Strong, and work the both of them as two different guys, as their two backs. So I'm gonna B plus with him. Next pick, quarterback Bailey Zappe out of Western Kentucky. He was good. He was great in college. He broke the records for yards and touchdowns in a season. I just think it's a waste of a 4th-round pick when you already have Mac Jones. But I think this pretty much means Jarrett Stidham's probably going to get cut, and they're done with him. But also, like, Hoyer is basically a coach at this point, so you need like a backup. I think you probably could have gotten the same kid in the 6th round. So it kind of confused me that you drafted a backup with this 4th-round pick. So I just give it probably a C minus, just because I think it was just not necessary. It has nothing to do with the prospect. I just think it wasn't necessary.
So I think Bailey's
this guy.
I think
talk about this guy, but yeah.
I say like C minus D plus range. I really think Bailey was just like elbow pads and knee pads, you know, like you take him out while skating, you use a skateboard. If you fall, you rough up your knees and elbows. Oh, well, suck it up. You're a man. Like Bailey Zapp's like I don't want to bang up my knee. I don't want to get scrapes on my elbows. I think he's just like the pure, like, okay, well, we need 2 pillows in bed instead of 1. You know what I mean? Just like that extra safety precaution.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a future for him. He's purely just like
at least with New England, I don't see the good somewhere else.
You never know.
He's
and
the next Brady.
He looks like him.
Down. Mac Jones goes down. He goes. All right, can we talk about how uncanny, how close he looks like Mac Jones? He looks.
No. He looks like Brady and Mac Jones' love child.
In a helmet, he looks exactly like Mac Jones.
Yeah, we're drafting the same people.
I go. I'm like looking
at him.
We
had Mac Jones.
I'm looking at him like, that looks exactly like Mac Jones. What the hell? But yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about the pick.
Just because of the unnecessary pick.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, you never know. You know, I mean, maybe he was purely picked just to like free up some space with Stidham getting out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Next, another running back, 6th round, Kevin Harris out of South Carolina. I think he's a good back. I just don't think we need another running back in that running back room. I know, like, you plan on letting a lot of those guys go, but you also got to think we signed Ty Montgomery as well. So that running back room is packed with Stevenson, Harris, White, Montgomery, and then the 2 new guys. So that's 6 backs right there. I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Harris didn't make the roster. I think he's talented. I just think, like, we have so many guys, like it wasn't necessary. So I give that probably a C minus. I don't want to be a D plus because I think he's a good player, but like I'm in the C minus range just because, again, I don't think it's a necessary pick, like kind of like the quarterback in round 4.
So I do give this a D minus. Or sorry, not D minus. I do give this a D plus. Like you said, not because I didn't hate the player. I just think now with the inclusion of one of the other new guys and Damian Harris and Ty Montgomery and Ramondre Stevenson, even if we get rid of Damian Harris, like we have a really
James White, I think he's done after this year too. And
he's probably gonna retire. But like I think we have a really solid running back structure. I just feel the reason why I'm giving him like a D plus is I don't see him being as good as any of the other guys I mentioned, and I also hate the pick. Like we needed defense
Mhm.
Took 2 running backs and a quarterback. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand. You know, like I don't hate the player. I don't think he's a great player. I don't think he will be good as well at be as good as like starting running back potential. I think he's doomed to be like a fourth down option kind of guy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But so much more we could have done with this pick, and it just
Yeah.
upsets me to see that we're kind of doing the same thing this draft. You know, so
Mhm.
that's why he's my D plus.
All right, next I got we'll just kind of rapid fire these. I don't think these are but defensive tackle Sam Roberts at Northwest Missouri State, small school. We won like the small school defensive player of the year, I think I read. But I think he could build into a nice little prospect. It's a 6th round pick, so it's no huge worries here, but huge Patriots fan, and he's blocked 5 kicks in his career, so could be a nice special team piece. I like him. He's really excited to be here. I think this for the value. I think it's probably like a B minus. Just the value. I don't mind the pick.
I give him a B plus purely because of his excitement.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you get a guy on the kind of program that he wants so bad, the type of player he develops into is destined to be better than what it would be if he was on just any other team. You know, when you bring a guy who's excited to play for you, like I don't mean just like, oh, any guy is going to be excited to get drafted to an NFL team. This is the team he wanted. Like that's why I have so much like good hopes for this guy because he's now around all these guys that he's been watching literally growing up. You know what I mean? Like his coaching staff is literally probably the people he was watching when he was 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Watching. So I'm very excited for him. Not like excited for him to be a nasty player. I'm excited for him to be on the team that he wanted so bad.
Yeah.
You know. So I do rate this pick. I'm gonna give it a B.
So the last 2 picks, I'm just gonna join together. 6th round pick guard Jason Hines at LSU, and 7th round pick offensive lineman Andrew Stuber out of Michigan. Um, I give both of them. I give both of them a B plus pick. I think both of these are quality picks at their value. I think Andrew
I
Stuber is
completely agree.
completely underrated. Both are going to be solid offensive line depth that may be able to take over for some of the older guys in our roster once they're kind of fading out, because we don't know how long Trent Brown's going to be here. David Andrews is getting up there in years. I think these are going to be quality depth guys for us. So
I think Stewie's a great pick, only because of literally because of just the sheer size of the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And like we are a team that's been
6'6",
known to love our dude. He's a massive man. He's a big boy.
Well,
he
you can look at
all
Jake
his
Knight. He's 6'3", 327. He weighs more than him.
I know.
3 inches shorter.
But I just like these are guys who when you give them a bowl of Cheerios in the morning, they finish every last drop of milk. Like I like these guys. I like hate's a strong word. I don't like the fact that we've been going so little on our line for so long. I mean, yeah, it provides Mac more vision to see over them, but at the same time, small guys get pretty overpowered easily if they're not, well taken care of.
Trent Brown's a unit.
Trent Brown's just an absolute man of a man. So I love the big guy coming in. I love the 2 big guys coming in. And me being a big guy, I like seeing other big guys get some action, So I also rate these picks. I'm going to do them individually. Stewie, I'm going to give B plus. The other guard, I'm going to give a B minus, only because I like the Cole Strange pick, but I also like the big guy. So I'm excited for them regardless.
So final thoughts. Just real quick. Just let's give quick final thoughts. So my final thoughts. I would give my overall draft grade like a C plus, just because I like a lot of the players they got, just not some of the values. And I'm really upset that they didn't get a linebacker. I think they have huge faith in some of their previous draft picks that haven't even played yet that people forget about. Cameron McGrone, I think they're really excited about, and he's going to be a special talent for they're hoping. And then last year we got Ronnie Perkins out of Oklahoma, who they're also really excited about. So we'll see how those 2 play out if they get on the field. But I think that's why they didn't draft a linebacker. But I still think they should have gotten a linebacker in this draft just in case those 2 don't pan out. But I still give it a C plus just because I like some of the players they got despite their values.
So this would hit a C plus range for me if we drafted more defenders, because that's been like, that was our big issue going into this draft. Like, if you look at it, three of our needs were defenders, two were offense. It was a guard and a wide receiver that we needed. The rest were cornerback, linebacker, and fucking tackle. So I mean, I would love to see what Brian would do, or sorry, not Brian, what Bailey would do in like a different system, but I don't think he's going to do really much for us at all. And the other running back, I don't see much for him. You know what I mean? Like this picks that I just don't. It's taking a while for me to comprehend why.
Yeah, but like this could all change next year, like when the roster's different. We have a lot
No, you're
of
fully right.
next year, and also like we have a lot of contracts leaving that may open up like roles. So,
And you're 100% right. The reason why I'm saying
mine's
this,
like right now, this is my grade, but like I feel like it very well could be a B grade in like a year or two.
yes, that's what I'm saying. So like right now, like as of right now, it's a C. Only because I personally can't see like much going for some other guys, most of the guys in this draft. You know, there's like 3 or 4 I could really rate as like, oh, these are good picks. You know, but other than that, I think it's a New England draft. They've never been really too exciting except for last year's. Last year's was very exciting. Everything else has been kind of meh. I think this falls into the meh category. But hey, you never know. It could be proven wrong, and I hope to be. You know,
I'm excited for this season. I think it's gonna be a prove season where they have to like show what they got. I think this is
going to be much harder than last year.
I think it's going to be a transition season till next off season when we have a crap ton of money to spend again. So we'll see. I'm excited. I know Harry is excited. I think we're going to have some fun this year. I think it's going to be less pressure, especially with how dominant the AFC is right now. But I think that's all we got. This episode was brought to you by Celsius. I'm Cross.
I'm Harry.
Thank you for listening. We will see you next time on OffBeat Sports.